This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSP TV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, a local man was on vacation in Paris when terror broke out. Here is story next. Hello everyone, this is FYI and I'm Ken Kerr. Thank you so much for watching. Well, since Friday, a lot of attention has been on Paris and the people of France. Right now, we'll get a first-hand account of what it was like in the city of Paris on the night of the terrorist attacks. John Dragalis of Drifton was in Paris when the attacks occurred. He landed safely on U.S. soil last night. Our Lisa Sugart spoke with him today via phone.
Tell us why you were in Paris.
I wanted to take a vacation. I had some friends go to Paris a couple years ago, said it was awesome. So I said, perfect, that's where I'm going to go. And I bought me some tickets to Paris.
So now on Friday evening, where were you when everything began?
Exactly where I was actually back over in my hotel. But earlier that morning, I was actually at the square where the cafe bombing happened and shooting happened. It's about 2 miles from my hotel, so I just happened to walk through it when I was coming home from after the night. But I started to hear all of the people in the hostel, TV started going on, people started to freak out and stuff like that, and the hostel started to take in people because they locked down on the streets, so people, like perfect strangers, were opening their house and just taking strangers in their house to get people off the streets. And that's kind of what we did at the hospital. We took a lot of people and they put the floors and extra rooms and stuff like that.
What was going through your mind at the time? I'm sure you were deathly afraid.
The thing that actually kept me pretty calm was I saw how the people who were working the hospital were acting, and they were quite content. So even though I didn't quite understand what was going on, and I admit I was a bit scared, seeing them completely okay, and perhaps it was just a front to keep the people safe in the hospital, but that is what kept me pretty calm and safe and settled, was seeing them so calm and collected.
Now that you're home, back on U.S. soil, how are you feeling after you see what everybody else saw and you watch the TV reports? What goes through your mind now after it's all over?
The thing that I told my parents is that I look forward to going back, because what happened the day after was probably the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Paris more or less got a terrorist attack, and the next morning I saw kids playing in the park, people sitting at the cafe smoking and eating and having, laughing. Stores were open. But if I would have slept through that night, I would have woken up the next day and nothing had happened. Seeing on the news the memorials, and there was lots of people at the memorials, but the rest of the city went back to life and refused to be affected by these terrorists, which I thought was the truest form of strength I've seen in a very long time.
John will join us in person later this week on FYI. Now, as we watch the horrific events unfold on television, so did John's mother in Drifton. She was in our studio earlier today. Once again, here's our Lisa Sugart.
I am pleased to be joined now by John's mother, Marie Dragalis, a good friend of mine from years gone by. Our kids went to school together. Marie, I saw you posted on Facebook over the weekend. My heart sank because you told me your son was there. What was going through your mind when all of this happened, and how did you find out?
We found out through the TV as soon as it broke. I made a internet message to him asking if he was there. Thank God he replied ASAP and said, yes, he was there. I said, okay, do you know what's going on? He says he was actually finding out as I was finding out type thing, because everything was so chaotic at the point. So we corresponded a bit back and forth, and I said, are you going anywhere? He goes, thank God I am in for the night, because he was running all over the place. He did tell me that he was at the same restaurant that did get hit earlier that day. We are talking like 3 hours earlier type thing. And when he said he was going to be in, that made me feel better, because I know my son, he will go out exploring and seeing what is there. So we managed to keep him down, and the fact that France also said that he needs to stay in, that was another security for me that I knew he was not going to go out. The place he was staying was a hostel, so normally what they did is just swipe the card to go in and out. This night, they decided to lock all the doors and manually get up to let people in. So that made me feel a little bit more comfortable. And then he said when the news had said that the borders were shut down and that travel was ceased, all these people literally needed a place to go because SEPTA's not, like their SEPTA system's not running, their cabs are not, nothing is permitted on the road. So these people were now all being led into various locations. And then my brain is going, okay, are these terrorist type people going to now pose as citizens and go into these locations and make another disaster along the way? So that was another part. And then once we figured out that was okay and that they basically got most of all their terrorist people in control, our next thing was trying to get him out of the country because the borders are now closed. So we went and called the airlines. The airlines only knew 24 hours in advance. He was scheduled to leave on Sunday. We then figured, okay, you cannot leave. The airports, everybody is shut down, so we had to wait the next day. We were corresponding back and forth, and we decided at that point to just stay put because everybody is going to be bumped along the way, so keep your flight as such. Then he did manage to get back home, and thank God, I guess, God is on my side because with everything going on, he did come home safely.
Well, we're glad he's home safely, and I couldn't believe it. You told me this wasn't the first time you've had to live through something like this.
Yes. My other son was in the Boston Marathon. He was 1 block from that incident. And again, they closed up that area, and he was able to get out as quickly. My other daughter is down in South Carolina, and she was like 5 to 8 minutes from everything that was going on down there, and she had 3 of her co-workers got really devastated through all that flooding and things like that. So yes, I think God is really on my side with my family. He does really protect them.
Thank you so much, Marie.
Not
It was
a
a pleasure talking to you. God bless your
Yes,
family.
thank
We're
you.
glad he's home safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa, for those interviews. Right now in FYI, I have your daily headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. One person was killed in a one-car crash this morning near Nescopec. According to our media partner, the Standard Speaker, it happened around 10 a.m. Route 93 between Zenith Road and River Road was closed as a result of the crash. And Hazleton police are looking for 2 men who robbed an East Diamond Avenue business last night. One was wielding a machete. It happened around 9:45 p.m. The suspects wore black hooded sweatshirts. One had a black and white bandana over his face. The other had a machete. They fled in a white vehicle with a spoiler. 15 minutes earlier, a 23-year-old man was threatened by a man wearing dark clothes and a black and white bandana over his face on Chestnut Street. The man had a gun and told the victim, quote, "Now you're going to die," unquote, in Spanish. Anyone with information on either incident is asked to call Hazleton Police at 570-459-4940. 11 people are homeless as a result of a fire on Friday night in Freeland. More than 150 firefighters from 4 counties battled the 2-alarm blaze in heavy winds. Fire Chief Joseph Stepanski says that the fire has been ruled accidental. The fire destroyed a row home and damaged another. Dave Skutnik, a spokesperson for the American Red Cross, tells us that they are assisting 4 families, 11 people total, after the fire on Walnut Street. They are providing lodging, food, and clothing as necessary. Well, on Friday, we told you that Jeff Terse, the owner of Atomic Vapors Lounge in Hazleton, not only replaced a sign honoring a local Marine that was stolen a day before Veterans Day, but he was also sending that Marine, David Mahalik, an iPad mini to communicate with his family. Well, since our interview, Terse announced that he will be accepting any type of candy or goodie donation to send to Marine David Mahalik with the iPad. Donations can be dropped off at the store before Wednesday. The box will be shipped on Wednesday. Atomic Vapors is located at 273 Airport Road in Hazleton, next to Hertz Rental. Well, coming up in sports, we will crown our 2015 high school football Cole Scale champion. And after this break, the boss drops by with a major announcement for SSP TV and our viewers. We'll be right back.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSP TV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Core Fitness is hosting a Zumbathon to benefit Brandon's Forever Home on Sunday, November 29th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the gym. There's also going to be tricky trays, and you don't have to be dancing to take a chance at winning them. You can just stop by in between 4 and 6 p.m. to enter, and you don't have to be present to win. There's also going to be refreshments and prizes. To reserve your spot, you can call 570-455-7818.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's hard to believe that we are just over a week away from Thanksgiving. Let's see if I jinxed us. Here's our local weather forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight will be mostly clear, low of 34 degrees with an east wind from 5 miles per hour. On Tuesday on our 4-day outlook, it will be sunny with a high near 49, east wind 6 to 8 miles per hour. Tuesday night, partly cloudy, our low 37, southeast wind 7 to 10 miles per hour. And then on Wednesday, we have a 20% chance of showers, mostly cloudy with a high near 53 degrees. Wednesday night, showers are likely mainly after 1 a.m., cloudy with a low of 51. Thursday, showers, high near 58 degrees. Thursday night, a 30% chance of showers. It will be mostly cloudy. Our low will be 43 degrees. And then for Friday, mostly sunny, will hit 50 degrees. And then Friday night, partly cloudy with a low of 37 degrees.
I'm pleased to be on the set with Sam Lassane Sr., the CEO for Samson Productions, for a major announcement. Sam, big news here at Samson Productions and SSP TV. We are broadcasting in high definition starting when?
Well, we're starting Tuesday, as you saw the nice article and our friends in the Standard Speaker today. Lisa, it's been, my wife Debbie, Janine, and Sammy, each year we try to do something that's exciting for the community. In 1994, I had said when I started the local news, it was something for the community. But you have to grow, and each year we've been doing a lot of things, and we see that sometimes the great things we do, other people pick them up, which is fine, But I think we're giving the community now nothing new. I mean, high definitions, around with a lot of broadcast stations, but it just raises us up to have 2 channels. So we're very excited about that.
So we'll be seen on Channel 13 as you've always seen us, but we will also be seen on HD 513. So they have 2 different opportunities to view our programming here at Channel 13. And you said that you were just so pleased to do this. Why is it so important that you keep progressing in the electronics and everything that is happening in our society today? Because Channel 13 is right up there with the best of the best.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, Lisa. The thing is that, you never take the community for granted. You never take your clients for granted. We were very excited when we made the media partnership with the Standard Speaker, with the Lionette family, Haggerty family, and of course John Patton and his group has been extremely very nice to us. But it's a matter, I think, is local television is growing. Okay. Where broadcast and cable companies are decreasing, and I'm not saying it. More people are looking to see what's happening in their backyards. Okay, so over the last 10 years, 50%, I think, when you Google it, 50% of people are not watching broadcast television as much and is not watching network cable as much. But people are tuning into local shows such as we have. So I think it's our job and our obligation to the community to give them as much as they can. There are a lot of people, in fact, thousands of households who they pay for HD. Now they're able to get it. So it's important to continue the product is the most important thing. And creative ideas, that's something people can't steal from us, from Debbie and Janine and Sammy Jr. is our creative ideas. But a great big thank you to the community. I mean, so especially to our advertisers and to people like the Standard Speaker. I mean, so it works well together.
Absolutely, it certainly does. So better things still to come. I know you hinted in the newspaper article, more coming.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Thanks, Lisa.
Stay tuned. That's the best way to end this. Stay tuned. Channel 13 broadcasting in HD starting tomorrow. And as Sam Lassane Sr. said, please stay tuned.
Well, I wish someone told me about this. Kidding, I knew. By the way, you can still watch us online, ssptv.com, also facebook.com as well, /FYI News 13. We also have a Samsung Productions Facebook page. Hey, now your Pennsylvania winning midday lottery numbers on the green screen. Pick 247, pick 3 391, pick 4 0280, pick 5 09607. It's coming, the final Cole scale of the football season after this break.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
It's that time of the year when the best play the best, and the Marion girls volleyball team, they're one of the best. The Marion Phillies are the #2 team in the state according to the Pennsylvania Volleyball Coaches Association rankings. North Star is the top-ranked team, and the two will play in the state semifinals at Middletown Area High School. The Phillies beat District 1 champ Country Day of the Sacred Heart on Saturday, 3-0. Abby Stankiewicz earned her 900th career kill in the victory. Maureen Klope had 19 digs, and Courtney McCall had 42 assists. When Captain Kirk couldn't pass the Kobayashi Maru at Starfleet Academy, he cheats, changes the program, and gets his victory. Kirk doesn't believe in no-win scenarios, and neither do I. So when I felt there wasn't a clear-cut Cole Scale champion after the allotted 10 weeks, I changed the rules and added a week. Could talk about Star Trek all day, but let's crown the kings of the Cole. It's the 2015 Marion Colts. Marion's tailback KJ Snurr was injured in a Week 10 loss to rival Tamaqua. He was all right on Friday night in the District 11 Single-A playoffs. He did some light running for 117 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Colts beat Monoy area. Marion clinches a spot in the district championship game against Tri-Valley, and Snurr locks up a 1,000-yard season. On Marion's second drive of the game, Snurr threw a 47-yard pass to quarterback Ethan Kaczynski on a trick play, and then he punched it in on 4th and goal. On the way to their final touchdown, Marion converted on 4th and 4 with a pass from Kaczynski to Mike Neary. So when it counted, the Colts made the plays and they scoop up the Cole Scale Championship. The Golden Bears, they finished #2 in our rankings. Mason Ryan ran for 2 touchdowns in this game. It was a great 2015 for the Golden Bears, who earned their first home district playoff game. The North Schuylkill Spartans, they finished #3 in the anthracite grade. They faced some adversity with injuries in 2015, but fought back into the District 11 AA playoffs, where they lost to top-seeded Notre Dame Green Pond 35-15. Major Jordan had 105 rushing yards for the Spartans in their final game of the 2015 season. Congratulations to all our local teams. It was a great year at the Mines. Looking at all the W's on the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins schedule will make your eyes go a little crazy. 3 more popped up over the weekend, bringing their winning streak to 11 straight games. The Penguins beat rival Hershey on Friday by a touchdown. On Saturday, they were back at home and they picked up a win over Rochester. Now Hartford, they pushed the Penguins to overtime on Sunday, but Scott Wilson, he scored the game winner for Wilkes-Barre-Scranton. For all of their winning, the Penguins are tied with Bridgeport for the top spot in the AHL's Atlantic Division. For the record, Bridgeport has played 3 more games than the Pens. That's sports for now. Actually, not really. Here comes Ron Marchetti with Trivia Treats.
"62 years ago tonight, the second half of the Pottsville-Hazelton football game was completed. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Trivia Treats. The first half of that game was suspended on Friday, November 13th because of an unbelievable dense fog in 1953. 3,000 people were admitted free to watch that second half. Pottsville won 22-19. Also, on this day 19 years ago in 1996, at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, 34-year-old Evander Holyfield engineered one of the greatest upsets in boxing history, defeating Mike Tyson to win the WBA heavyweight title. 37 seconds into the 11th round, the fight was stopped to prevent Tyson from absorbing more punishment. Now let's go back 50 years to 1965, filling in for injured quarterback Johnny Unitas, Gary Cuozzo threw 5 touchdown passes to lead the Baltimore Colts to a 41-21 victory over the Vikings at Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota. Cuozzo came into that game with only 3 career touchdown passes. The 5 TD tosses set a franchise record that stood up for 38 years until Peyton Manning threw 6 in 2003. Now, how many people outside of Baltimore remember Gary Cuozzo? Not too many. What? Too far back? Okay, let's come 20 years closer to 1985. Who remembers Louis Wright? W-R-I-G-H-T. Apparently nobody, unless you live in Denver. 30 years ago tomorrow, the Broncos defeated the Chargers 30-14 or 30-24 in overtime at Mile High Stadium in Denver. In the game's next to last play, San Diego kicker Bob Thomas lined up for a 40-yard field goal attempt, but the kick was blocked, and Louis Wright ran the ball back 50 yards into the end zone for the apparent Denver win. But the Broncos had called timeout just before the play, so the touchdown was nullified. Amazingly, Thomas's next attempt for the field goal was also blocked. The ball was again picked up and ran back 60 yards for the game-winning score. By who? Mother of God, no, by Louis Wright. Finally, 45 years ago this past Saturday, November 14, 1970, a chartered airline carrying the Marshall University football team and coaching staff crashed in the Appalachian Mountains about a mile outside Huntington, West Virginia, near the Tri-State Airport. All 75 passengers were killed. The plane went down at 7:40 p.m. as the team was returning from its game against East Carolina at Kinston, North Carolina. Till Friday. Stay loose.
Mondays can be rough, but you can end them on a high note. Seafood night at Bottlenecks. Choose from crab, clam, shrimp, and lobster specials, such as their little neck clams in garlic butter, only $1.95 a dozen, or handmade crab cake platter for only $8.95.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, Holy Family Academy will be holding a toy and gift card bingo Friday, November 20th, with doors opening at 5 p.m., early bird at 5:30, and regular games begin at 6. We'll be having cash specials, homemade food, tricky trays, and much more. Admission is just $10 and includes 10 games. Seats are limited, so call 570-455-9431. Our next announcement, Booty's Place, located at the Churchill Mall, now has their takeout window open. The best just got better with pizza, hoagies, strombolis, calzones, great Italian dinners, and much more. Visit them today or call ahead 570-455-5551. And finally, Relay for Life will be having an informational open house on Wednesday, November 18th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Laurel Mall. Join them for turkey trays, chili cook-off, baked goods, and more. Come and find out what Relay is all about and how you can help. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Mary S. Rymiller, formerly of Hazelton. Arrangements will be announced by the Hazel Chapel of the Cropton Hughes Funeral Home. Anthony F. Student of Northampton. Arrangements will be announced by the Stanley E. Analosky Funeral Home. And Ruth K. Worsinger of Wilmington, Delaware. Services will be held Thursday at 11 a.m. at the Aldersgate Methodist Church. Friends may call Thursday from 10 to 11 a.m. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Brandon Metzger of Drums. Brandon, if you're watching, give us a call right now, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Life changes tomorrow. I will see you in HD on Channel 513 in the Hazelton area. Until then, take it easy, everyone.